creatures of the night, or should I say of the morning. It's really early. Don't mind the chirpy birds in the background. They up early with me. Rampage definitely put my ass to bed. It's not that it was a horrible show. It wasn't that. However, the predictability of the show really, really kills it. And it just feels like you already know the spoilers. You just gotta sit through them. And honestly, I'm not feeling it. We started off with Kip Sabian and The Butcher versus Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. Do I have to say that Orange Cassidy is going to win always? Sure, he just lost the international title. However, he has his eyes set on the AEW tag titles. And because it's him, Trent Beretta might actually get a fucking title around his waist. I'm not necessarily happy about this. Predictable win for this team here. Trent Beretta takes the win for his team. And honestly, I'm just like, okay, well, that was great. I really do like Trent Beretta. Trent Beretta, if you're single, give me a call. But I'm just looking at Kip and The Butcher. And the Blade was ringside too. Might be injured, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. And I'm just like, these guys are so talented. They are so freaking talented. All they're doing is collecting checks and collecting L's. And that bothers me because I'm just like, it almost feels like Tony Khan is just keeping people on the roster just to keep them there. They're on multi-year contracts and probably would have issues getting out of those contracts. So they're going to come out and job every single fucking time. And I'm just like, where's the wins? Butcher and Blade is a legit tag team. Where's their fucking wins? Every single time, it's always anybody going against them that wins. And they're really talented. And people fucking like these guys. And it's not just them too. Kip Sabian as well. Where the hell is Penelope Ford? Where's everyone else who is part of this roster that only comes out just to freaking lose? I absolutely do not like this at all. Now, what I did like though, is we had this really nice video package for the infantry. And I was just saying this on Thursday that the infantry should be on AEW TV. They are a really great tag team, very entertaining. The crowd loves them. They play very well for the crowd as well. And they're like the ultimate baby faces. They are veterans, and who doesn't love veterans, right? So now I'm just like, okay, they need some TV time with AEW. And then boom, here comes the video package tonight. And I was just like, all right, somebody watching my videos over there in Jacksonville, but that's neither here or there. Now, I was really happy to see this. So we're going to be seeing them soon on AEW TV, and I really do like that opportunity. Now, Renee Paquette is backstage with Ruby Soho trying to get an update on Angelo Parker, who got his ass whipped last week by Saraya's brother, Zach Knight. And I'm just going to say this storyline, it might not seem like much, but for whatever reason, I'm entertained. I am sports entertained, and I'm loving it. Now, Renee's asking, like, what's the update on Angelo? And she's like, he's really, really hurt, and he's not doing well, and that she's really, really upset at Saraya because Saraya is the mastermind in this whole story. And she's like, oh, you and your inbred family, I'm going to get revenge on ya. And when she said inbred family, for whatever reason, I just burst out laughing. I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. And I'm just like, okay, I like the fact that there's an issue between Saraya and Ruby. It doesn't even feel forced at all. It doesn't feel forced at all. This was another really great way to incorporate Zach onto the main roster, because Zach was on Ring of Honor for a little bit before he transitioned onto the main roster. Hasn't had any official matches yet in AEW, but obviously that's coming. And I'm assuming maybe his first opponent may be Angelo Parker, but since he at home dealing with his injuries from that attack, it could be someone else that he can make an example out of. But we'll get back to that in a second. Up next, we had Julia Hart versus Robin Renegade. The TBS title was on the line. This was a squash. However, Robin helps Julia look really great. First of all, Julia, that gear, oh my God, she's just looking so beautiful. I just love it. I love it. But yeah, back to the match. Squash. Robin helps make her look really, really great. Let me just say this. Just because y'all see people in squash matches doesn't mean that they're bad wrestlers or anything like that. Unfortunately, once again, Tony Khan does have certain people that they're constantly putting in squash. I don't know if the Renegades are signed in, like, you know, to be with AEW. Maybe obviously just in based off of appearances is what I believe might be the case when it comes to the Renegades and a few other people. However, she really didn't do much in terms of defending herself in this match. It was all Julia. But like I said, her selling and her taking really nice bumps helped make Julia look very dominant in this match. And while I think it looked really great for Julia, it doesn't look great for Robin or maybe anybody who wants to go against Julia. Looks like Julia's going to start putting that title on the line. Now, we haven't seen her put the title for a bit. She ended up tagging with Sky Blue at Revolution pay-per-view, but it looks like she's back to singles competition. This, like I said, looks great for Julia, but not for Robin, and that's a shame because Robin is pretty great. Now, back to the whole Saraya storyline thing. Renee Paquette is with Saraya. She is mad as hell because she's like, oh, so you're going to go ask Ruby what happened, but not come and get my side of the story. Then she tells then she tells Renee to get lost. And then she's all into the mic talking to Ruby and how she's going to make an example out of her and how she hates her guts and everything. And then there's like 3 guys in the background and she goes over there and she's picking on them. And then she knocks the cup of coffee right out of one of those guys' hands. Some of it does get on Harley, but a little bit, like maybe a drop or 2, touches Zach. And Zach is not happy about that. And Saraya makes him attack him. And I'm just like, holy shit. I love this. This is actually fun. I don't know where the storyline is going, but the drama, I'm here for it. Up next, we have singles competition with Penta versus Action Andretti. Really great match. I really like both of them a lot. So I was kind of like, doesn't really matter to me who takes the win here. Maybe Action Andretti needs this win a little bit more. We haven't seen too much of Penta for a while. He came back maybe like 2 weeks ago, I want to say, and he's starting to get back into the groove of things. So either way, I was cool with it. Probably the most enjoyable match for me of the night. I really did enjoy seeing both of these guys in one-on-one action. It was slightly better than the main event. The main event, we had 3 tag teams, and when those type of things happen, it get a little messy. Now, I didn't really care too much about who was going to win, but Chris Jericho was back on commentary on Rampage, and it's been a while since he's been doing commentary on Rampage. I'm not gonna lie, he doesn't do it for me. Aside from him leeching off the blood of the young talent in AEW, I just feel like I'm just annoyed when it comes to Chris Jericho. Great that he's, all elite and doing whatever he can to help AEW. Something about him I just not feeling. I just can't stand hearing his voice right now. I'm over it. Penta takes the win, and I was a little bit surprised about that. I do think that Action Andretti could have used this one a little bit more, especially since he's been teaming up with Top Flight. Top Flight and Action Andretti, they're at that point where they can either do the tag thing in terms of winning the tag titles or go for the trios titles, whichever one. These guys deserve it. They've really been working hard, and you can tell that they're hungry for it, but it doesn't look like Tony Khan gives a damn. Now, main event, we had Top Flight versus Private Party versus Commander and Brian Keith. Brian Keith, I love you, but Commander is fucking annoying. I'm over it. They just be throwing wins at him all the time, and it's just like, why? Why? I don't know. Really great matchup, and like I said, I could not necessarily give this match to be my favorite match of the night, because when they have multi-men matches like this, especially with those 3 tag teams, it could get a little bit messy and you kind of get a little bit uninterested towards the middle of this match because it's a lot going on. Now, Top Flight wins, and I'm kind of surprised about that happening. I actually thought Brian Keith and Commander was going to take the win because for whatever reason, they are actually in love with Commander over there. But Top Flight wins. Action Andretti actually comes out and they celebrate together as a trios. Now, Private Party, they've been putting in the fucking work. They are so great. Mark Quinn has been gone for over a year with a leg injury. He's come back and he's absolutely ready and hungry for those tag titles too. And I'm watching this match and I'm looking at all 3 of these teams. Even though I don't feel like Commander and Brian Keith are the best team together, I don't know. They just put them together. Before I lose my train of thought, Bandito got the wrist thing removed the other day from his broken arm. So he might be back soon. And if anything, put Bandito and Brian Keith as a tag team. Holy shit, that would be cool. But anyway, back to what I was saying. When it comes to the AEW tag titles being vacated, I sadly do not see any of these young tag teams, Private Party, Top Flight. Holy shit! Let's be honest. It doesn't seem like a whole bunch of tag teams over there. The Infantry coming over too, and I think they're going to be in that tournament. Is probably why they're showcasing them earlier in the show. I don't see teams like those getting it. It's going to possibly be FTR, Young Bucks, those people that's already had opportunities after opportunities after opportunities. Those are the ones that's going to end up getting it. And I'm just looking at the situation where it's just like, all right, this is Rampage. I'm not going to take it seriously. But in terms of booking, you can see that Tony Khan is not looking to celebrate the younger generation in the company. As always, he's going to stick with what's reliable and what he knows works, which are the teams that have already worked for him in the past, and it already looks like it's going that way. And I really think it's really unfortunate. A lot of these teams, a lot of these singles competitors, they're going to look at things for the long run and just feel like maybe AEW is going to cater a little bit more to those veterans, those people who's been there and done that, more than this up and coming group of wrestlers that are hungry for tag titles, single titles, whatever the situation is. Look how Max Caster and Daddy Ass and them, they have been holding on to those trio titles since All In, or was it All Out? Well, whatever, since August. And these motherfuckers have barely, I can count on my hands how many times they've defended those titles, and they're just walking around pretty. And it's a shame because Max and Anthony, they're young, they can be getting a lot of experience holding these trio titles, and unfortunately they're not doing anything but rolling around, rapping and doing nothing. And I just don't get it. I don't want to get into a whole big rant or whatever, but I really do feel like I see why a lot of people is not interested in watching AEW, because it's like there's the whole roster full of people, and it only seems like certain people are getting catered to. Look at Orange Cassidy. There's just no way you lost the international title, and days later your ribs are taped up. Like the way he got his ribs taped up is insane. I've never seen that. However, he goes from one title and he's already looking for the next. And they've been favoring Orange Cassidy for like the past 2 years now. And it's just when you look at the situation, you're just like, shit, he might even get that tag title. And that might be the only way that it looks like Trent Beretta can get some gold, like for once in his career. Don't like how that sounds, but it is what it is. Tony Khan people are fucking bored. He needs to switch things up. This is 2024, and I thought that maybe we'll get some new things. And so far, same old, same old. But guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back later on with a watch along for Collision. You guys can pull up, watch me live, watching the show, discussing the show and all that stuff. Then after that, as usual, a review on Collision. So I'll see you then.